Presented by Best Buy, where this holiday, the wow's guaranteed.
Today, IBM made it official after months of hints and leaks to the press. The Goliath of computers is coming out with its first home computer. It's called the PC Junior, unofficially the Peanut.
While home entertainment systems may have dominated the market, computers would soon enter the same realm. In the early 1980s, the personal computer was introduced to the market.
Computer games were unheard of because most people didn't have computers. Very few people had computers, and most computers were in offices. You know, they were the huge, big IBM mainframes. And basically, the games were text. So the idea of actually putting pictures was not only innovative, but how do you do it?
From their home in Southern California, Roberta and Ken Williams started Sierra Online. With limited technology, they brought graphics and stories to the first personal computer games.
When we started Sierra, the industry was just getting born. I mean, there was the very first personal computers. The Radio Shack had just introduced the TRS-80. Apple was out, and it really was hard. I mean, it was pretty gutless machine. By now, I'm sure most joysticks have more computing power than the first computers.
In 1980, Roberta and Ken created Mystery House. It had no sound, no color, no animation, but it did have one feature that no other computer game had at the time: graphics. Packaged in sandwich baggies, Mystery House quickly became a surprise bestseller. It sold more than 10,000 copies, an astounding achievement. Despite the fact that it offered almost no action, Mystery House was selling on a virtual one-to-one basis with home computers.
For some reason, people who played games on their computers were of a different mindset than people who buy video game machines. They were more patient, so the idea of playing a game that would challenge you, to think about solving a puzzle that was going to take a while to unfold wasn't something strange or weird to them.
Even as home video consoles were flailing in '83, the Williamses were gaining ground in the budding PC game market. Their next graphic adventure was King's Quest. At a time when a mouse and sound card were unheard of, the game featured never-before-seen 3D-like worlds and sound with characters the player controlled.
If you look at our early games, they're comical because they're checkerboarded, by taking all of the different limitations into account and putting dots in the right places. Like you give something that if you squinted and stood way back from the screen kind of looked like color, and kind of blew people away, and that people were willing to tolerate such bad graphics, such bad sound, showed that there was an industry there, but it had yet to be born.
Well, in the beginning, a lot of the Heroes Quest games were very focused on action. With some of the games like King's Quest, that action element really got thrown out in favor of exploration and kind of using your mind more to overcome hurdles.
And also, it was a departure in that you didn't control the character directly. You're kind of an onlooker, and the character does your bidding, but you're not completely connected to it.
And so, not only was the story more intricate, because of the slower pacing, you were able to tell more, you had more text in those games, but also the puzzles were much deeper.